Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here, for liking and for subscribing and for sharing if you feel guided to do so. I am very grateful. For the last day and a half, I have been feeling a group of Ascended Masters. I don't believe they're all mine. It feels like a select group keeps wanting to talk about the concept of love. So I've been sitting here meditating, seeing if they want to come through as a collective group and talk, so that way their message can be heard for everyone. So we will see what they have to say, and if I need to, I will put timestamps below. This is for all of you, for humanity, from the Ascended Masters. And we will ask them to please identify themselves. So just give me a minute to tap back in with them. Yes, we are all one collective group from the third ray, the pink ray, the ray of compassion, love. We all want to talk to you. No, we are all not her Ascended Masters, as she already disclosed. We are all of the third ray. We are all a collective group. We want to talk about love. There's different types of love that we think all of you need to understand better as the earth is changing, as humanity is changing, as people are changing. You need to understand that love is vital for your heart to survive. There's different types of love, and different types of love you will experience as a human. The first type of love you first and foremost must have is love for self. Self-love, self-care, self-compassion, empathy. This is the most important love of all. And this is where we are so concerned about all of you. We have noticed that most people on earth don't love themselves. And when you don't love yourselves, you actually hurt yourselves more. You don't put yourselves on the right path for spirituality. You don't know how to connect with God, with your soul, with other humans the right way. You don't know how to love other people, and you don't understand what real unconditional love is. So, we want you to understand how important it is to truly love yourself. One would say, or ask, how do I love myself? That is through accepting yourself for who you are. It is okay who you are. You are all created in perfect image form. Your soul is beautiful. You need to understand that. You're all connected. You're all part of creation. You're all part of the Creator, part of God, part of the universe, part of us, part of her, this vessel we are using to communicate to you through. That makes you beautiful. That makes you loving. That already makes you worthy of love for yourself. And you don't see it. And that's what we want you to understand. That's what self-love is. Recognize something in yourself that That is great. And honor that. And admire that in yourself. And love that about yourself. We are not talking about the superficial things, about what makes people look a certain way. That is not relevant. That is not who you are. That does not define you. What defines you is your actual soul. Who you are, how you treat people, how you care about people, how you love people. Are you kind? Are you compassionate? Do you think about others? Do you put others first? That's what makes you loving. That's what makes you beautiful. That's what makes you wise. That's what makes you worthy. Those are the things that are beautiful. And that's what makes you worthy of your own self-love. And that's what we want to talk to you about. Also, the importance of compassion for yourself. Everyone makes mistakes. You're here having these human experiences. It's natural to make mistakes. It's natural to make the same mistake more than once. It's okay. You just have to be able to acknowledge it and be able to forgive yourself for it. Don't punish yourself for it. That is not necessary. Acknowledge it and move on. And love yourself. That's one thing we think is very important for all of you to understand when it comes to love. That is the first and foremost thing you first need to be able to achieve. Second, what is love? Do you understand the concept of love? You can love people. You can love many people deeply and dearly, and that is so important and a beautiful part of life. That is very important and something you need to be able to do and experience. But to do that, you have to be able to open up your heart. We don't want you to have to go through life where your heart is frozen, iced over, crystallized, stuck. We want it open, experiencing life, loving people, loving animals, loving nature, loving earth. This is part of life. This is what you came here to experience. It's okay to love. And it's okay if sometimes it hurts. That is part of love. But open up your hearts. Don't cut them off out of fear. That's not the point. It's better to be open and loving and forgiving and continuing to love than never experience or share love with anything. When we say share any love with anything, we mean even an animal. But to live all alone, blocked away from everything, that is not the purpose of your heart. To experience even us, to be connected to us as an ascended master or to one of your guides or angels, you must open your heart. And that's what we want you to be able to do. But there's something that's even more important, because in order to be able to open your hearts, first to be able to recognize love and love, you then have to be able to use your discernment in terms of being in love. And now we are talking about loving another person in terms of romance. So, yes, you can love your sister, you could love your brother, you can love your mom, your dad, your cousins, aunties, uncles, extended family, so forth. You can love friends dearly. All of those things are so important. And we advocate for that. And have compassion for those who struggle to love you. We do not say, have people come into your life that cause you harm, That is not healthy for you. But it is okay to have compassion for those who are having a harder time in life. You can love them from afar if it is not good for you. But you can still have compassion for them, knowing maybe their journey that they signed up for on earth was a much more difficult journey than the one you're on. It is still important to love them, but you can still love them from a distance, and that is healthy. We are talking about family and friends right now. In terms of romance and loving somebody romantically and wanting to be in a romantic relationship, there are different types of love. And this is where we really want to make sure people understand this. Because if you don't love yourself first and foremost, you will only end up in relationships with love that are not healthy for you because you don't know how to love yourself. So if you can't love yourself, then you don't know what is, how do we say this? Good love for you and love for you that is not as good for you. And that is what we are worried about. We want everyone to be able to experience the best possible love, unconditional love. That is hard and rare, we do know, and we understand this very much. For we all have unconditional love for you. Our unconditional love means there are no conditions on it. We accept you completely for who you are. We accept you despite what mistakes you make, despite what errors you may have, despite how many times you might have to ask for forgiveness. We still love you. We see your souls. We know your goodness. We know you are always coming from a good place. You are genuine and you are trying. You are on your journey and you love. So we can see that, we feel it, and we know it. So there's nothing for us to ask. We love you without question. It's unconditional love from us to you. And that's what we want you to be able to have in your romantic relationships that you so desperately seek on earth. But to do that, you have to be able to give that kind of love and be open to receiving that type of love. That is a very difficult thing to ask of someone if they're not willing to give or receive that type of love. So, to make this a little bit easier, if you love yourself, then you love your family and you know what's healthy and what family you need to love at a distance, then that means you can then use your discernment to know if you're able to love somebody unconditionally. That means without conditions. We're not advocating for people who would cause you harm, because this would not be healthy. Anyone who causes you distress or physical harm, emotional harm, mental harm, any kind of dangerous situation, that is not good. That is not something that we would call love for you. Love would be somebody who accepts you exactly the way you are, who can see your soul the way we see your soul. We can give you a simple example. Let's say you are a non-smoker and you started smoking and you said, "Oh, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Please forgive me. I'm not going to do it again." They love you unconditionally. They're not going to pass judgment on you. They want what's best for your health. They don't stop loving you because of it. They say, that's fine. I love you anyway. I just want you to be healthy. They do not withdraw their love from you. They do not punish you. They do not stop talking to you. They do not start calling you names. This is unconditional love. To make it a simple example on earth. Let's say you have a cigarette again 3 weeks later. And you say, I'm sorry. I did really try not to do that, but I was stressed out and I did that. Unconditional love would look like, I understand you're stressed out. Would you like to talk about that? I care about your health. I don't want you to smoke. But I am not withdrawing my love from you. I don't love you any less. It does not matter to me. I'm more worried about your health. I prefer you not to smoke or start smoking again. I know how hard you worked to quit smoking. So they would talk to you that way. They do not take away their love. They do not punish you. They do not leave or threaten to leave or hurt you by seeing someone else. These are things that they would not do. Unconditional love is they are always there, loving you, supporting you, standing there right beside you. That is unconditional love. And you love them the same way. That's what unconditional love is between two people. What we have noticed and observed as a common thing that seems to happen among humanity, or humans if you will, and don't forget, we have all experienced this ourselves because we have been there too, is there are heartbreaks, there are relationships that do not work out. We understand this, and it is very difficult. Unconditional love is, I love you enough to want you to be happy. If it's not with me, be happy. You do not stand in your ego. You stand with your higher self and choose your higher self and let the person go. You choose your self-love and your higher self. And you also choose unconditional love for the other person and let them leave. For that is the path of unconditional love. For yourself, for them, and it has the best optimal outcome. You are not choosing the path of ego, which would be, stay with me. Because that would be selfish. If you just want love or just want to be loved, and you don't really care if it's unconditional or true love, or the right love for you, or the right person for you, then we can now bring in the right partner for you, who may have now be a better vibrational match, or be part of your soul contract that you're unaware of. There may be somebody else who needs to come into your life to align with you now with true unconditional love. So if you can align with your higher self and align with unconditional love and choose that path and let somebody go out of unconditional love because you know it's in the best interest and you're not working from your ego. Because it's better to have people be happy if you truly unconditionally love them, even if it does hurt. Then you're listening to your higher self, which, you know, is with us. And the universe, your higher self, is tethered with us. So you can check in. And you're not living in an ego-based world, so you're staying on your spiritual path, which means you'll be aligning, potentially, to a higher vibrational match of someone with more unconditional love for you. So these are things that we know humans struggle with frequently. Self-love, love with friends and family, having compassion for those that have hurt them with friends and family, loving them from a distance, but maybe not close, and loving unconditionally another person despite some of their flaws. Because you have flaws too, and you also want to be loved unconditionally. And also being willing to let go of those people who no longer are truly, honestly, a vibrational match. You're no longer at the same frequency. So that's why there is no alignment and one wants to leave. We ask you, let them leave, even if it hurts. Have compassion for yourself. Love yourself through this. It's okay. We are with you, loving you through this time anyway. We know it's painful, but if you can choose your higher self and not your ego and let them go, you will actually grow more spiritually. You will raise your own vibration, and you will actually call in a higher vibrational match for yourself and more unconditional love. And we are all with you, loving you unconditionally anyway. So you're always surrounded by love. And if you feel at your lowest at that point, or your saddest, call for one of us. You can call for an angel. You can call for a guide. You can call for one of your ascended masters. Or if you just really need to feel love, you can call for one of us on the third way, who are the ones of love and compassion. Because we understand. And we're the ones who want to help. So, there's also other ascended masters too you can call on. Some of our friends are stepping in from the 6th ray too. So depending on your energy, you can always call on the 6th ray for the empowerment to get through difficult times. Those are some very strong, powerful energies that will help you through it too as well. As ascended masters, depending on if it's a broken heart, you will be okay. But always choose your higher self. Don't ever choose your ego if you don't have to. The beauty of it is, you always have a choice. You are not required to do anything. You always have a choice. We just ask that you always choose your higher self and choose your spiritual involvement instead, because that allows us to work more closely with you and bring in more vibrational matches that align higher with you and allow you to grow more and feel more unconditional love. Because that's all we want to give you and help you see you have. You can have all the love you want, all the happiness you want, and all the compassion you need too, to these processes and growth experiences that you are now having right now on earth. Because we know it is a process. to get from self-love to understanding, to love of family, compassion for a family that are difficult at times. In some family, yes, you do need to keep at a distance that's healthy for you, but that doesn't mean you don't stop loving them. You just keep them at a distance from you because it's healthier for you. So you then can have the romantic connections and love that you need and require, and can have them unconditionally. That means no strings, no ties. They know your soul. They see you, the real you, and love you exactly the way you are, the way you deserve to be loved, the way we love you. You can have that on earth, and all of you deserve that. But that's if you can put your ego aside and choose to live a more spiritual path and more in alignment with your higher self. How do you do that? Check in with your higher self. Check in with us being ascended masters, or your guides, or your angels, or what feels right with you. You'll know. No one else has to tell you. You'll know. It'll feel right. If it doesn't feel right, and it feels wrong, then it most likely is out of alignment with you. If it feels right and flows and is beautiful, then it's probably right for you and is unconditional love. And unconditional love can continue to grow and prosper. It's not taken away. It usually grows stronger. It doesn't mean all of you will have that throughout your whole life. Some of you may have heartbreak. Some of you may not. But we are here to help all of you. We just ask that you always try to make decisions from your higher self perspective and not your ego-based perspective. And if you need help, just ask. We'll always show up. But choose the path of selflessness, not being selfish when it comes to love. Because you will receive that back each time, again and again and again. And your love will become stronger, and your bond will become stronger, and your spirituality will continue to grow, and you will continue to evolve, and your love will become more beautiful, and you will radiate love and light, and you will become the vibration people want to align to. You will be the light of love. That's what we want to tell you. We are done speaking now. Thank you for letting us talk to you. Goodbye. Okay. Well, sometimes they stick me so far back in my head, I can't quite hear the whole message when they're talking, and I have to play the video again to hear it. And they did that this time. I just know there was something about a lot of love, a lot of unconditional love, checking in with your higher self, and self-love seemed like the first step. So I'll put timestamps in below, but they really stuck me far back there. that I couldn't quite hear the whole message. Sometimes they'll let me be in the forefront, but they're starting to stick me further and further back behind. It's like I'm in a foggy dream. But boy, could I feel a lot of love coming through. That's all I could feel was love. There's a lot of love. There was a lot of love from the third ray to all of you. I can tell you that. And every time they kept saying your higher self, they were showing me this like yellow star sparkly color, which was really interesting. And it was like almost like raining down like a ray of light, and it was almost just like golden stars that were just yellow sparkle translucent yellow light, but it was golden yellow light. It was really beautiful. And when they were talking about love of self, it was a very vibrant, like magenta kind of pink. When they were talking about love of family, it was this like softer baby pink, and they were showing just different types of hearts, all different sizes of hearts is what I was seeing. And then when I was hearing about unconditional love, it was like every shade of pink that could possibly imagine, which didn't even know there could be the many kinds of pinks I could see. And they were showing me all these hearts, like, you know how snowflakes will kind of slowly sprinkle down. That's what they were showing me, but all in the shapes of different sizes hearts. But they were like radiating this glow. It was beautiful. I don't know if I'm really doing justice with articulating how they were showing it, but between it, the hearts that were falling, where they're talking about unconditional love, there would be a line between the two, as if they were like two hearts that were soulmates with a line, and they would be radiating this like the same color pink. But I mean, these were shades of pink I don't even have words for. And they were all connected all over. And it was just like, yeah, like soft snow falling, but they were all hearts that were connected with lines. It's beautiful imagery. I wish I could describe or show you the imagery while they're talking. I have to figure out a way if I can create the images and maybe put what I'm channeling over these images so you can see it, because really it is quite beautiful what they show me. But that seemed to be the message that they wanted to share with you. And then I know there's another one they want me to talk about tomorrow, about gratitude and abundance and how blessings can happen every day. So I will record that tomorrow, because it is very early in the morning here, I would say. It is about 2 in the morning. And I personally would like to sleep. So I will talk to all of you soon. Thank you for your time, and I wish you all a loving Sunday. Good night.